All right, welcome to the Denver JK. Here I have my list of the 5 types of Jeep people. I wanted this video to be a little bit different than usual. I'm not working on the Jeep right now, but I came up with this. I've been thinking about for a while, and this is just kind of like what I think the Jeep people are. There's 5 of them. They're kind of open because I mean you could dive into like a lot of stuff, but I wrote some notes down, quite a few, about the 5 types of Jeep people. It's a couple days after Christmas. Happy holidays. Got myself a new Yeti tumbler for some coffee. Super cool. Alright, so why don't we just, excuse me, I've been dealing with a sickness. Why don't we just get into this a little bit? So 5 types of Jeep people. So I own a 2009 Jeep Wrangler. It is a 2-door sport. It's not a Rubicon. I put a lot of hard work into it, and you know, it's got lift, tires, wheels, bumpers. You know, I've got the heavy duty hinges from MORryde, their whole tailgate reinforcement, cut the fenders. I'm not even running rear fenders or rear bumper at this time. Spacers for the wheels. I've got a 9,500-pound winch. Just installed a new soft top. It's got seat covers. It's a 6-speed. It's got like 98,000 miles on it, and yeah, it's kind of like my baby. Been working on it for a couple years now and trying to build this YouTube channel, and I've only done like how-to videos, so I wanted to do this as a little different, kind of like how I did the turning signal video a couple weeks ago. All right, so the 5 types of people. Number 1. The people who say that they own a Jeep, and then you ask them, like, oh, you know, what kind of Jeep do you have? You know, a person who owns a Wrangler, you know, you're wondering, like, oh, I wonder if they have a 2-door or a 4-door, if it's a Rubicon or it's a Sport, I wonder if they have Sahara, like, what, hard top, soft top. We instantly want to think, like, what type of Wrangler it is, because that's how we view Jeeps, right? You know, what if they have like an old CJ, or like one of my favorite Jeeps is the like mid 2000s. It's like what, 2004 to 2006. The LJs, the long wheelbase 2-doors. I thought those were super cool, but they always respond with, "No, I own a Patriot," and you're like, "What? That's not. I don't know if it's a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep, right? It's a Patriot." Usually when someone asks about what kind of Jeep you have, they probably want to know if it's a Wrangler or not, because we don't really care if it's a Patriot or a Compass or a Liberty. The Grand Cherokees are pretty cool. New Cherokees are cool. The older Cherokees and Grand Cherokees are cool. You know, that kind of stuff, but Patriot. So yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is, these are the people that kind of they'll buy an average Jeep, whether it's a, you know, back in the 70s and 80s they bought like a CJ, or in the late 80s or late 90s they bought a YJ, or late after that TJ, and then, you know, nowadays we have the JKs. They just bought it and they never did anything to it, right? It's just completely stock. It's really basic. They usually have the tire cover that says Jeep on it. That's pretty normal, but nothing else is done. You know, most of the time they have stock wheels and tires, like the steel alloy looking ones, and they're really small. They're really basic. You know, they still own a Jeep, you know, but it's not like they've done anything. Those are the number 2 people. Your average Jeeper. You know, the run-of-the-mill, like, I want to have a Jeep, and then they never do anything to it, which is, you know, fine. Now we're going to get to number 3. So just to recap, 1 is the people who think they bought a Jeep and actually bought a Patriot. Number 2 is the people who bought a Jeep and actually bought a Wrangler, but didn't do anything into it. So here's number 3. These are the people that they bought like a 2007 4-door, right? Maybe silver or like purple or something, and like the first thing they did was they went and put fuel wheels on it, right? The black ones that like every other vehicle on the road has, or what was the XD series like you get from Discount. You know, not hating on Discount, they've done my wheels and tires. I don't have those wheels and tires, but I'm tired of seeing them. But yeah, so number 3 are the people who get the 4-door, and the first thing they do is put the wheels and tires on there, right? They're probably 18s and with some straight tires, and then they probably went out and bought like the 52-inch light bar, put it on the top, or like the one on the hood of the bumper, and then left it like that. That's it. That's all they did. Those are the interesting people. They're kind of like the number ones, right? They're like, you know, hey, cool, I bought a Jeep. Yeah, it's, you know, fit it with the crowd. But, you know, it's just an SUV at that point. If I wanted a vehicle that I wasn't going to lift and put big wheels and tires on and change, I wouldn't have bought a Jeep. Go buy like a 4Runner or something. And even then, the stock 4Runners are like really nice. Probably more comfortable than a 4-door Wrangler, my opinion, whatever. So yeah, those are the number 3 people. Just throw that down there. Now we're going to get to number 4. So these people, this is like the people who kind of like to mess around with their Jeep. You know, maybe weekend warriors, like to tool on it a little bit, have a good set of tools, you know, whatever. These are the people that bought like a 4-door or a 2-door. It could have been a Rubicon, maybe not. Mine's not. You know, I wish it was, but I didn't know a whole lot about Jeeps before I stepped into it. There's a huge price difference in the two, like Sport, Sahara, Rubicon. Not the point. The number 4 people will probably put like 33s or 35s on the Jeep. Maybe like a decent lift, you know. They might try to do like a budget boost just to get off the ground and fit 33s or something like that. Or they did a kit, like a 2.5 or a 3.5 inch lift kit. Like mine's a 2.5 inch TerraFlex lift kit. And I put 35s on mine. They might have changed the bumpers, added a winch, you know, just some things, you know. It's mild but tasteful. You can do whatever you need to on the weekends. These people almost always do the Jeep Wave, you know, always. At least here, like when I was living in Colorado, like you can get a Jeep Wave 60% of the time, maybe. We're in South Carolina right now, and like I would say that 80 to 90% of people do the Jeep Wave. So if you're in South Carolina, you know, keep it up. You're rocking it out. So that was number 4, and now we are to the number 5 slots. This is an interesting group. These are the people. They probably bought a 4-door, and it was probably a Rubicon. They're cool. I get it. You know, whatever. $40,000-$50,000 Jeep if it was new, and these are the people that put at least 37s on, right? They're at least 37s or higher, or taller, excuse me. And, you know, they have a light bar. They've got, you know, the tire carrier, because, you know, obviously the tires are heavier. They're probably running Nitto trail grapplers, you know, big lifts, 4 inches and higher, because they want to put the 37s on. They might have left the stock fenders on, maybe not. But I would assume that most of these people in the number 5 slot have put a lot of money into their Jeep, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, not hundreds of thousands, $100,000. You know, I've seen people try and sell their 4-door Jeep that they put all this money into for like, just the other day, someone's trying to sell it for 120 grand, like $120,000 Jeep. That's a little aggressive, I think, but whatever, you know, parts are expensive and labor, you know, but these people are probably thinking about an engine swap or have a supercharger or something like that. You know, like if I had a bunch of money, I'd have a nice Jeep too, but I don't think I would spend $100,000 on a Jeep unless like it was my job to spend $100,000 on a Jeep. Mine's a daily driver, gets me to work, gets me home, straight, narrow, you know, but yeah, those are the number 5 people. You've seen them. Their Jeep is either really clean or it's really dirty. These are the people that probably don't go forward, excuse me, very often. But again, they have a ton of money in their Jeep. And these are the people that have a bunch of money in the Jeep and they beat the shit out of it. Like every other day. They're like, yeah, let's go forward and whatever. It's scratched, it's dinged, it's a Jeep. Have fun with it. And that's it. Those are my top 5 Jeep people. Real quick recap. The number 1 was the people who think they own a Jeep and they bought a Patriot. The second type of person, Jeep people that you would say, are your average Jeep owners who bought a Jeep Wrangler, never did anything to it. That's fine. Number 3 were the people who bought like the 4-door, only put XD or fuel wheels on it and a light bar, and it was probably purple, and it's a 2007 automatic. Those are the number 3 types of people. Number 4, those are going to be probably my viewers, myself, a lot of other people on the road who have their Jeeps. Mild lift, 33s, 35s, a bumper, rear bumper, like I run spacers, maybe a winch, some light bars, a used Jeep. That's number 4, like the most common, right? And then number 5 is like the big builds, the big 4-door Rubicons that have like $100,000 invested in them between parts and labor and all this other shit. All right, so yeah, those were the 5 types of Jeep people. My list, my little group. This is how I see it. We could have like gone more in depth with like the Cherokees and Grand Cherokees, but I own a Wrangler. I don't do anything on a Cherokee or Grand Cherokee or a Patriot or Compass or whatever that shit is. But yeah, that's it. My Jeep build is definitely a 4. That's definitely where I'm at. Where do you fit? What is your number? What kind of Jeep person are you? Leave me a comment down below with what type of Jeep person you are, whether it's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5, it doesn't matter. My Instagram is at DenverJK, at the DenverJK. On Instagram, tag me in a picture of your Jeep. I want to see them. Show me your builds. Let's see where you're at. If you're a person that has a Patriot, like, go for it. Cool. Show me what you got. But yeah, that's it. That's the video I wanted to do today. I've been completely lazy and procrastinating. It's not because of the holidays, it's because of who I am as a person. So yeah. Roll credits.